at least as of now. Welcome to the next video, guys. We'll talk about the incident response plan. We know what it is, right? You hear the word incident response plan. An incident occur. What's the response plan? For example, an incident response plan is a well-documented set of procedures that organization must follow in the event of a data breach or suspected data breach. This plan is designed to quickly detect, respond to, and recover from security incidents, minimizing the damage to sensitive data such as cardholder data. Okay? Why is an incident response plan important? First, mandatory for PCI DSS compliance. Regardless of how organization handles cardholder data, whether it stores, process, or transmit, PCI DSS requirement 11.10 also mandate that an incident response plan must be in place. This plan is a preventive measure ensure that organization is prepared for any potential security incident. And that's why we'll start talking of incident response plan. I think I had explained earlier, say for example, remember when we start talking of the high availability, failover, and all those things, those are all proactive measures or preventive measures. But still, even when organizations have all these controls that I've mentioned, they are 100% compliant with PCI DSS, does it mean that an incident or data breach will never occur? Not necessarily. Data breaches or incident will definitely occur. And if it does occur, how do they recover from it in less than no time? And that's why your incident response plan definitely have a good document and a step and procedure in case if something happens, how you guys can easily come out of it. But why is incident response plan so important? As of now, the primary goal of an incident response plan is to protect cardholder data from being exposed, stolen, misused during a breach. By having a response plan in place, the organization can quickly isolate and mitigate the incident, reducing the risks of damage to sensitive data. Do you see? Quickly isolate. If there's no incident response plan, then something happened, a breach. You guys, that's it, right? You guys have not been performing no form of simulation, no tabletop. Nobody knows where documents are. So what happens? What if an employee even went and installed some form of malware over the internet, and they are not even aware of the incident response plan, who to report to, the right channel, right, or teams, and that's it. It's gonna spread across the network, right? And that's why we also said that incident response plan are really important just to make sure again they're all preventive measures, right? They also maximize risks from data leaks or compromises, right? A timely response can help limit the scope of the breach for sure, preventing further data leaks, unauthorized access, or potential misuse of cardholder data. The quicker the response, the less likely the data will be exposed or used maliciously. That makes sense, right? Also comply with legal regulatory requirement. Many regulatory bodies and standards, including PCI DSS, require timely reporting and documentation of any data breaches. Failing to respond quickly can result in legal consequences, fines, as well as reputational damages or damage. And no organization will want to go through that, right? But talking about that, let's go through some of the key components of the incident response plan. And for you to fully understand, you can go to the NIST 853 document, Rep 5, of course, and go to IRO Incident Response Plan, Incident Response Family, where you go through all those controls, then you have a good understanding as to what we're talking about. All right. So the very first comment has to do with the detection. First, detection, what happens where you continuously monitor, you have continual monitoring tools should be in place to detect suspicious activities, unauthorized access, or potential breaches. For example, remember we spoke of IDS and IPS, intrusion detection system, as well as intrusion prevention system. So if those systems detect IDS, an incident will definitely occur, a breach can definitely occur, but it will detect. But IPS will definitely prevent something like that, and logs will be generated, which they can forward it their to their respective team, right, or IT for them to easily investigate. And remember, we'll also make mention of the SIEM, that's a central repository or centralized system that all of these logs are also being logged, sent to that central system that you can definitely investigate from there. Okay. And if you see detection, monitor network traffic, intrusion detection system, alert suspicious activities, right? IDS and IPS rule enabled monitoring, and we have that. Then we talk of the next one, identification. You want detection, identification. Remember, detection, you are monitoring. If there's any detection, if you detect something, that's where you want to identify. In the course of identification, you want to confirm if it's a data breach or an actual incident or not, or false positive, right? Or false negative. That's something that you guys can do some research on this, right? Because that concept is highly tied with incidents, response. Is it a false positive or false negative? So once an incident is detected, the organization must confirm if it is indeed a breach. Do you see? It's essential to differentiate between false alarm and real. Do you see? That's what I just said. And real security incident. And I think I had mentioned earlier, I kind of lost my thoughts. I was about to say something. That's fine. Hopefully I'll be able to remember. Example, security teams might investigate to confirm whether the breach is due to a malicious attack or a system error. And say an actual incident had occurred, what's the next step? And that's why we go through the step of containment, where you want to limit the scope. One breach is confirmed, the organization needs to contain that breach to prevent further exposure or that will possibly or potentially compromise cardholder data. So identify that particular breach, maybe the affected devices or device, then you want to contain, of course, remove it, contain, detach it, remove it from the network. So that even if an attacker gain unauthorized access to that system, that just by isolating, it's just like somebody having COVID and they have to quarantine. When you are quarantined, through the process of quarantining, you don't want to spread it to other folks in your house. And that's why you have to quarantine. Or they have, is it Shengis or I forgot the word. That's what I can see in a Shengus or something like that. Right? So you have to quarantine, right? From the network and can prevent further access to cardholder data. And after that, does it just end? You just remove it from the network as like, you know what? I don't think I want to have you anymore. And that's why we go through the process of eradication, where you have to remove the threat. You have to look for a way to remove it. Crucial to identify and eliminate the root cause of the breach, investigate for sure, such as malware, unauthorized access, or vulnerability in the system. So if a malware is found on that system, then it must be fully removed and any vulnerability that allowed to infiltrate must be patched. So once you've provided the medication, you've cured that particular thing, through eradication, then it goes through the process of recovery, which is the final step, which to restore the affected system to normal operation, while ensuring that any weaknesses that contributed to the breach are addressed. Once a breach is contained and eradicated, systems that were affected should be restored from clean backups and thoroughly tested before being reconnected to the network, right? And likewise, we will definitely have lesson learned. That's post-incident review. After resolving the incident, the organization should conduct a post-incident analysis to understand what went wrong, how the breach occurred, how the response can be improved. And if I might ask you, why do you think organization will have to do a post-incident review lesson learned? To prevent same incident, if possible, similar from occurring or happening in the future, right? The team might review the response process, identify gaps, and adjust procedure to better handle future incidents. Do you see? Yep. And then with that, we have alert generation. Say, for example, protocol for investigating unauthorized access. If an intrusion detection system flags suspicious activities, such as unauthorized access to cardholder data, it triggers an automatic alert to the security team. The team investigated alert by reviewing logs. We've spoken so much about logs and system activity to determine whether it's a legitimate threat. A security analyst might look for signs of a hacker trying to exploit a vulnerability in a web application that handles cardholder data. And containment, you see, talk about isolation. disconnecting an affected from the network, eradication, going through a treatment plan once you've contained, COVID, maybe, and this is something that the person can fully like get back to their feet. You have to remove the bridges or whatever, breach, restore the system. And then once the system has been recovered, then they have to document it. And of course, lesson learned from that. But why incident is crucial for PCI DSS? First, for immediate action. A well-prepared response can significantly reduce the damage from a breach, protecting sensitive data and minimizing financial losses. Requirement: PCI specifically mandate an incident response plan to ensure that any data breaches involving cardholder data are promptly addressed and mitigated. Failure to respond to appropriately can lead to fines, legal action, and loss of customer trust. And that's we are going to put an end to this video, and we will go to introduction of PCI DSS as well as software standard. What does that mean? So I will see you guys in the next video.